Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Tuesday time together. What's up, Lauren? What's up, Tim?
Hey, hey.
What's going
So,
on, everybody?
what's happening? Today, we want to talk about EDCs. Do you have an EDC? Lauren, do you have an EDC?
Come to find out, I have one, but I didn't know I did.
Uh-huh. And Tim, what about you? Do you have an EDC?
I totally have an elementary diploma challenge.
For those of you wondering what an EDC is, it's an everyday carry, which is a very important thing for each of us to have. As a pastor, you're constantly on the move, especially during these days. Your office has been your car or your home, and you've been moving back and forth. So an everyday carry is super important for you. Each of us has one. So today, you've got a pastor, you've got the senior youth young adult director, and you've got the communications director, who all carry similar things, but in each of our bags, we all have a little bit unique stuff that depends on where we're headed. And today, we want to be able to share good ideas for everyday carries. What do you guys think? What have you guys been thinking about when it comes to everyday carry?
I think when you first brought it up, I realized that I kind of have it depends on the situation, obviously, that I'm walking into. But one of these things I'll have on me basically at all times, like one or the other. One, I tend to kind of keep at my desk because it's just easier that way, and then the other I travel with just so I have it for a quick one-off type capture if I need to. What about
Ah,
you, Lauren?
excellent.
Yeah, when you said it depends, that's really the first thing that came to my mind because there are a few core things, but it also depends what you're walking into, right? It depends where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing, but there are those core things and even the bag changes too.
Yeah, absolutely. The bag changes. So my grandfather was a pastor, and growing up, I used to watch him, go out and he would do literature evangelism. He would knock on doors, and he always had an EDC, an everyday carry, that he would take with him everywhere. But his everyday carry looks way different from mine. Whereas, I rock a backpack. He had it like a briefcase. Then he had more of a satchel kind of thing. And so it's really it's an important tool for our field of work. So let's get in there. We've got just a few moments today to do it. And if you happen to have any questions along the way, feel free to put it down in the comments. We will answer it. If you're watching this on record, drop a comment anyways. We'll come back around and we'll try to answer them as we go. We're going to start with Lauren today. Lauren, can you share your EDC with us?
Sounds good. Yeah. So, like I said, the bag does change, but I'm going to choose one of my favorite bags. So, this bag that I've got here today, this is going to be my EDC that I'm going to share with you. So, this bag that I've got here is my photography bag, but it has a lot of cool features and a lot of cool stuff inside that we're going to look at. So, the first thing I love about this bag, if you guys do any photography or if you end up using any DSLR type camera stuff when you do your live streams, this type of a bag is going to come in super handy. So the bottom half of the bag is for all your camera gear. So the bottom half of the bag, you've got lenses, you've got your camera body, you've got all that stuff. But this bag is not just a photography bag. So that's what I like. If I'm going to be using my camera, but I'm not just doing that, right? I'm always going to be on the go doing other stuff. This keeps me from having to carry two separate bags. So back here, I've got my camera stuff. But here in the top half of the bag, you turn it around and I've got all my other EDC stuff in here. So I'm going to open this up and we're going to go through a couple things.
Nice. That's a really nice bag, by the way, Lauren. One of the things that we have to, as a challenge for us as bag carriers, is fashion versus utility. And so to be able to get a little bit of both is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Lauren. That's
So it's
a
super
much
helpful.
nicer looking bag than I've got, so I like that.
It took a while to find because that whole balance of aesthetic versus practicality is a really delicate line to walk. But
Right, right.
But yeah, so
I
I'm not
like
going
it.
to go through all the features of the bag because it takes a little bit of time. But in the top half here, we've just got a drawstring and I've got all my stuff. This top, if I stick my hand in the top part of the bag, goes about down to here. So it's just a few inches deep. But When I go pretty much anywhere, some of the main things I'm going to take with me, which the only thing I can't show you right now is my laptop because I'm using it. But I always, of course, I'm going to have my laptop. Some of the most basic things, I'm going to have my charger. That's basic. I've got this external hard drive, which I changed from a previous one because this one is a little bit more durable, keeping you from having some data loss. So this one I can just toss in my bag and not feel like stuff's going to happen. But I always have to have my external hard drive because depending on the projects I'm working on, when I'm going around different places, some of the stuff, when I use graphics programs, video editing programs, my computer can't necessarily handle all of that. So this external hard drive is super crucial because I'm not going to be able to wait on. So another thing that I like to take, let me see what I've got in here. Another thing I like to take is my wireless earbuds because it depends. I don't have AirPods, but I've got my headset right here. So I take that depending on what editing stuff I'm going to need to do. That's always going to be super handy. And then because I have a MacBook Pro, some of the other stuff that I always have to take, I like the MacBook Pro for a lot of reasons, but one thing I don't like about it is obviously it's just got the USB-C, right? The dongle life. So, so of course, one of the smaller, less intimidating ones. So I've got this, which comes in super handy, which it just turns the USB-C into a USB. So that's super handy. This one I've come to like a lot because it's got a lot of different ports in it. And the two things I don't like about this one, it's got two different inputs. So it takes up one whole half of the computer. Two different, one USB-C for something else. It blocks it. And this one doesn't have an Ethernet port, which sometimes if my internet's not strong, I just can't do the work. So this one solves both of those problems. So it depends what we're working on. Usually they're not too big. I just toss all three of these in my bag, just depending what I'm going for. And then the last thing I want to show you is something super cool I just picked up. Now, depending what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be working on any graphics or editing, which I usually am for most of my projects, I just picked up this thing called the Tour Box. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this. So I was looking around for editing consoles. There are not very many on the market that I found anyway. There are a few. But this right here is a super cool little gadget where you use your right hand on your mouse, your left hand here on the Tour Box, and you can use this knob here to adjust things. You can use a scroll bar. You can use this. You can have a couple different buttons, and you can assign them all different features for pretty much any program on your computer. Any app that you open can work with this. So it makes your workflow a lot faster. So just having this one little thing with me, and it's got its cable here, I can connect it to the computer. This one little thing, not too big, not too heavy, but it makes my workflow a lot faster. If I'm not using this, or if there's a reason that I don't have it hooked up at that particular moment, I do find myself reaching for it and I miss it because it does make my workflow a lot faster. So this is something I would just toss in and really help me to keep my programs going pretty quickly when I'm on the move. So
that can
those
help
are some of the
create
basics.
hotkeys for almost anything, right, Lauren? So if a pastor is maybe using their online lexicon or something like that, they could set hotkeys to change things and move pages for them. Is that right?
Yeah. So one thing that I found that was is that the other editing consoles I found on the market, they're compatible with Photoshop, they're compatible with Lightroom, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, all these different programs. But what this one was really attractive to me was it works with all of those. But one thing, this sounds a little silly, but I'm one of those people who I have this bad habit of keeping like 25 tabs open in like 3 different browser windows, like all the time. So I can just scroll
I don't know
through
any
my tab
pastors who
windows.
doesn't do that. Tim, do you?
Yeah, I leave them open for months at a time.
Yeah.
Months. Yeah.
It just
absolutely.
becomes normal. Like this is my workflow. So I can scroll through tabs, close a tab, open a tab, just really quickly. It saves just a little bit of time, but even like when I'm going through my files on my computer in Finder, I can delete a file, I can fold it, like I can do different stuff. And you can assign, as long as you have the program open on your computer, you can add it to and assign really any of these buttons and combinations of buttons too. So I even use it for things like copy and paste, which, I mean, you have a command on your keyboard, Control C or whatever you use, but this is just a little bit faster copy paste. I could just use one button. And so little things like that save a lot of time. So it's super handy to just toss in the bag, and it is worth it for carrying one additional item, just kind of having that next to me.
Yeah,
So
and
that's the basics of what I've got.
who wouldn't want to trade time messing around, editing, studying, sermon prepping for time with your kids? This is like, time is so important to pastors. And so we want to make sure that you're getting these tools so that you can like speed up things that you have to do so that you can do things you want to do. So that's a
Yeah.
great tool, Lauren. Tim, what's your
For sure.
EDC look like, man?
So it depends. So literally, the thing I almost always have on me is my phone, right? So everybody's got their phone, and I got an iPhone. It's got a good camera on it, and so one of the things I've started to use, and I used especially towards the beginning of the pandemic quite a bit, is I used this microphone. I don't know if you can see that pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is a Shure MV88, and it's about 150 bucks. Yeah, there you go. Icky's got one too. All right,
Yeah,
Nice.
man. It is great at capturing a lot of sound. So
absolutely.
I've done my devotionals literally with that and a little phone tripod, and that's it. Like, so I've done
Nice.
devotionals on a weekly basis. Exactly. That's it right there. Icky's got it. I love that little mic. It's great, and it has a lot of customizable features in the app so that you can decide if
Mm.
you want to narrow its focus or make it more broad, those kinds of things. So that's my super quick, but my little bit more advanced than that. Obviously, you got to bring your computer. Got to bring your computer, and I too am a very proud Mac user. And
This is such a
and
biased program, everybody.
it's
It
right.
totally
Your
is.
support team, we're all, shame on us.
So I carry my Mac around, and so I also have multiple dongles. But I gotta tell you, I use, and I'm gonna kind of switch my, and just so I can show you this. But this is what I am currently on, and that's just a Sony Handycam. Just
Ooh.
that. So I carry this around on a tiny little tripod. It's compact but super durable, and I love Neewer. I love this
Yes.
brand.
Good, man.
Yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
super good.
They make the lights, everything. So I like the Sony Handycam. Honestly, I had before everything, and so I've just kind of
And they're affordable.
also, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
super affordable.
And I can flip the screen around so I can see myself, which is really helpful if I'm filming something. Whereas, like on your phone, you don't want to use the screen facing camera because it's a lower resolution. So
Mm.
I carry that around, and I literally have this $40 capture card. Right, this thing is 40 bucks, and it's harder to show you because it's plugged into my computer. But a $40 capture card, I just plug that straight into the Handycam, and it'll take audio or headphones if I need to.
Mm.
It's got a little adapter, a dongle to make it USB-C. Man, $40
Yeah.
on Amazon.
For anybody who
you can't
does
beat
not
that.
know anything about capture cards, $40 for a capture card is an amazing price. That's really good.
Yeah. And the
And
fact
did that
that
thing
I
say
ordered
4K?
it, and I was like, yeah, it's 4K. Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually expected it not to work. And so it was an Amazon purchase. You're like,
Yeah.
they'll take it back.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and then I'll bring, and I know you guys use these over the conference, but I love these Ceramonics.
Oh,
These
yeah.
things are fantastic. So if you don't have this little kit, it's got a receiver, and there's two of these little packs. They're super tiny. They can connect to a lapel if you want, or they can be a microphone. I found this to be just as good without the microphone attached to it.
Hmm.
Um, and then you just connect this to your camera and you're good to roll. And it's so tiny, it fits. This is my handy cam bag. This is it. That's all I
Wow.
like.
Yeah.
This. Yep, and I strap on the tripod, and that's all I have to carry around. I'm a minimalist as much as I can be, and so
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
so the Handycam has an onboard storage too, and it takes USB-C. So I'll throw this in my bag just as a card reader. It's got a couple of USB ports if I need them, and it'll take HDMI as well if I need. And if I have to, I'll throw like a little hard drive, a little SSD hard drive in.
Wow.
But by the way, if you're looking for an SSD hard drive, these things are amazing. SanDisk,
Oh,
like it's
Yeah.
USB-C
Awesome.
native. I can edit video on it, like
yes.
live. So,
Yeah.
which is hard to find something that's actually going to maximize your USB-C speed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's it. If I've got to bring a light around, I'll just haul
Wow.
one of these guys. It's not too bad. It's just a newer light, and I'll throw that and the little tripod along the way. But that's it. Yeah.
That is awesome. So that is the third challenge when you are thinking about your EDC or your everyday carry, which is one, the fashion, the look. You want it to look decent. You don't want to look crazy. Two, the utility factor. Is it going to be able to do everything you need to do? And the third one really is size, because some of us are minimalists. We like short, compact, easy, the basic stuff. And then there are times when you need like a huge duffel bag worth of stuff, right? And so
Yeah.
finding your everyday carry is going to be something right there between those two, where you can get everything you need in there, but still sleek enough that you can go into an office or church and not feel like, you're not carrying a
So
commando.
what's your rule of thumb, you guys? Because for me, it's okay. If I could, it needs to be something that I could walk like a few miles with. If it's bigger than that, and I couldn't haul it 3 to 5 miles, then it's too big for any EDC. It's more studio-esque in my book. But do you have any kind of rule of thumb? Like, I definitely don't want to have to take 2 trips from the car
Yes.
to wherever
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
headed, right?
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
That's my rule of thumb. Like, my everyday carry has to be something that I can get everything I need and things I may need. So
Yeah.
mine tends to be a little bit larger, on the larger side, but it's because I want to cover all my bases.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a smaller bag if I just take the stuff I show you and not the camera stuff. But I mean, if I'm going to take the camera stuff, minimizing additional bags, keeping it as one bag as possible is the rule.
Yeah.
And lighting tends to be the thing that takes it out of control.
Yes.
Like lighting
Yes.
tends
Yeah.
to be the thing that, I'm going to need lights. And then do I need the battery powered lights? So do I need the batteries with it, or
Yeah.
do we have power?
because of my screen and what it's doing, let's go ahead and end out unless somebody online has a question. And next time around, I will definitely share my EDC in a couple weeks, and we'll go through my stuff as well.
And hey, if you have an EDC out there that you carry, like, share it below. Like, put some links to
yeah.
things. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I found like this piece of audio travels really well, or this piece for video is really budget friendly, or different things like that. Share some of the pieces of your EDC, because that's how I got most of my stuff, was seeing what other people were using. And I think that
Yeah.
can be a really advantageous thing to share. An EDC type situation is really effective. So
What a great suggestion.
sure.
Absolutely. In fact, drop it into the comments so that as people coming on to the network, they can also see what you got. If you have a picture of it, drop a picture in there. But I would love to up my game even some by watching what you guys have in your bags.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, record a little video and you can upload it to our group. John Kress, I know you're out there. You're probably watching because you commented earlier. I want to see what your
Uh-huh.
EDC is. We want to see what your EDC is.
He's got
That's
scrolls
right.
in
So
his EDC.
want to see your EDC. So yeah, this is great. Next week, next week we'll see some EDCs and we can break some of that down.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
All right, friends. Thanks for. I went to see that too. He said.
Oh,
Thanks for
boy.
joining us, everybody. I hope you got some cool tips, and we'd love to see your EDC. So make sure that you drop a picture or drop a comment as to what you're carrying around in your pastoral bag or what your communication or ministry bag looks like, and we'll start adding it to our stuff. Have a great day,
that'd be great.
everybody.
Sounds good.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Really weird.